lost to Long Island Nets in Laval, Quebec yesterday. So we got the classic card, the Instagram stories, all kinds of stuff. So let's get right into it. I got the latest lineup news and also the referee report coming up right now. Yeah, let's see what's up, y'all. Let's get to it. Raptor Freak channel right now. Latest lineup news and ref report. Let's go and react also. All right, first of all, we'll look at the Toronto Raptors side of things. There was a name added to our injury list from the last time, and of course, he left the game against Atlanta in the first game, and he did not return, and that's Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk is already out for today's game against Atlanta due to the calf injury he suffered in the last game. Emmanuel Quickley is ruled out for today already also, and so is Ochai Agbaji. So those three guys will be sitting out for our team today. So who knows? With Olynyk out, maybe we'll see Orlando Robinson get some more time on the court tonight in the game because Kelly's out. Now, Davion should start once again. That's been very successful, starting Davion Mitchell in the place of Emmanuel Quickley with Grady Dick, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. So that's what I expect to see tonight. On the Atlanta side, there is changes to their injury report also from the last game. We'll start with what was there before. Kobe Buffkin is out. Cody Zeller is out. Zachariah Riesecker is out. So their number one pick is out also. Clint Capella was a late scratch for the first game, but today he is probable. It is likely that Clint will return to the lineup and play against us tonight. It was his knee that was an issue. Larry Nance Jr. has also been upgraded since the last game to probable to play today. But Jalen Johnson, their nice young star coming up, who started the game the last game but left the game, he is out for the game today due to the shoulder injury he suffered in the first Atlanta Hawks game. So he won't be playing tonight. And Trae Young has been added to the injury list in the last day or so. He's listed as questionable for tonight's game due to a hamstring. So there may not be return of Larry Nance Jr. and Clint Capella, but Jalen Johnson and Trae Young may be out for the game tonight. So there's your injury latest lineup news. Yeah, we know about the Hawks. We just saw them. Garrison Matthews, Okongwu, all those guys, Bogdanovich. Yeah, we know who their personnel is, so that should be all right. Yeah. So, yeah, let's see. The referee report, let's go ahead and go there next. Referees for today's game are not that bad. Our crew chief is the family guy, Mark Lindsay, out of Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania, his 18th season, number 29. He likes the show Family Guy. He likes the movie Shawshank Redemption. He gets down at Dave Matthews Band. His favorite book is Can't Hurt Me. His favorite app is Apple Podcasts. He'd like to visit Rome with his family on a trip to Italy. And his hidden talent is spelling. Mark Lindsay has officiated 969 regular season games and 37 playoff games in 17 seasons as an NBA staff official. He officiated the 2023 NBA All-Star Game in Salt Lake City. Mark Lindsay's not a bad ref for us, honestly. This year, we are 1-2 with him this season. We've won 1 and lost 2. We win 55% of our games historically with Mark Lindsay present. And the Hawks win 52% of their games. So 55-52 is the split for the Raptors with the crew chief, Mark Lindsay, for tonight's game. He's 1-2 with the Raptors this year. The second ref is Nate Green, number 41, 6th season out of Des Moines, Iowa. He likes the show The Wire. He likes Coming to America, the movie. Selena Johnson is his favorite musician. Lone Survivor, his favorite book. He liked tagliatelle bolognese as a meal. He watches Netflix, and he most likely to visit Africa. Nate Green has officiated 167 regular season games in 5 seasons as an NBA official. Nate Green's not a bad ref. He's right around where Mark Lindsay is with the win percentage. We are also 1-2 with Nate Green this season. We've won 1 game that he's officiated and 2 losses out of 3. We are 53% win percentage with Nate Green. Meanwhile, the Hawks are 46% win percentage. So 53-46, the split for the Raptors with the second ref, Nate Green. And they're right around the same place in the ref report chart. The last ref is Brandon Adair, number 67 out of Norfolk, Virginia, number 7th season. His favorite TV show is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He likes The Pursuit of Happiness for a movie. He listens to Charlie Wilson. He reads David Baldacci books. His favorite meal is surf and turf. His favorite app is Tripcase. He most like to visit Rome. So he's like Mark Lindsay like that. These guys want to go on a Roman holiday. And the bucket list is skydiving. So Brandon Adair has officiated 277 regular season games in 6 seasons as an NBA staff official. He officiated the Rising Stars competition and the All-Star Saturday night events at All-Star 2023 in Salt Lake City. But Brandon is the best ref for the Raptors today. We have only had him once this year, and we lost. We win 58% of our games with Brandon Adair present. And meanwhile, the Hawks win 64%. So he actually favors the Hawks, 58-64 for the Hawks, the third ref, Brandon Adair. So the first 2 refs statistically favor the Raptors. The third ref favors the Hawks, but he also has the highest percentage win for the Raptors at 58%, even though. So, yeah, there's your ref report. This is very similar to the crews we've been getting recently. They're actually seem like really, really good, solid crews. So I'd say the last 3 games have been similar referee crews for us. Middle experience, not the senior refs like Foster and them, but and not junior refs either. I mean, good refs like Tyler Ford and Mark Lindsay. So Pat Frere. So yeah, these are good refs. So yeah, this isn't a bad ref crew. We'll see how they call it tonight. I like Mark Lindsay overall. Nate Green's a solid ref, and Brandon Adair is not somebody that I've been pissed off at in the past either. So yeah, there's your ref report. Not bad. Not bad. Could be worse. Also, this is going to be a tough task for the Raptors to win 2 games in a row against the team in the same settings. That's always a difficult thing. This 2 games in a row thing they started a couple years ago has been an interesting experiment. It's saved on gas. It's saved on travel costs. But it's also made it really hard for teams to win both games in a row because it's just like that. So we'll see if the Raptors are like that, if they can master this and show that they can beat the Hawks 2 games in a row in the same settings. They've got the opportunity to tonight. I'd like to see it. I really would like to see it. All right, let's see what y'all are saying in the chat this morning, and we'll go from there. Trevor J saying first, Commissioner of Fun. Trevor J, good to see you, man. Nothing is permanent. Don't stress yourself too much because no matter how bad the situation is, it will always change. That's interesting. I mean, that's true. Change is inevitable. Change is going to change. It's going to happen. And if you fight change or you want everything to stay just the same, that's never going to happen because change is constantly happening. So in some ways, you got to go with the flow of change. The more you fight against change, the more miserable you are. So you have to understand and be wise about change in your life and be willing to adapt to it. Because if you don't, you're going to stress yourself out. And in some ways, it's not worth it because honestly, it's inevitable. It's stuff that happens that you just have to get used to. And well, you got to change with it. That's how it is. Thank you, Trevor J. Trevor is saying that the NBA's top selling jerseys and team merchandise. This is for Canada, y'all. Just so y'all know, they come out with this ranking every single year, and it causes confusion. It makes people think that it's the number 1 jersey in all of NBA. It's not. The ranking is for NBA Canada. It's for the stores sold in Canada. The Raptors are number 1, and Scotty Barnes is number 1 jersey. But that is in Canada. That is not the whole entire NBA. Those stats are for NBA Canada team store stats. So we have to say that. You can't just say because it's a misnomer. People will start thinking, oh, the Raptors have the best jersey sales in the entire NBA. That's not exactly true. We have the best jersey sales in Canada. And that's what those rankings are from, Trevor, just so you know. Trevor's saying, happy game day. Let's get another W tonight. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. It's too bad the Raptors 905 could not win last night. They played a sloppy game. They played disconnected. They had too many turnovers, and the Long Island Nets executed just a little bit better and ended their winning streak and beat them in the first game in Laval, Quebec last night. A series of games where Les Nets are going to be playing home games in Quebec. The first one of 6 played last night. They're going to play again tomorrow there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And yeah, hopefully the 905 can get some get back in that game. Yeah, it was a very disappointing game where they did not rise to the occasion and close the game out correctly. They had their opportunities, but man, did they screw that game up last night. And it's too bad. I know Andrew Jones has got a lot of teaching moments for the 905 today after such a loss against Long Island. And it's too bad. It is too bad. All right, let's see. Trevor's saying on this day, Terrence Ross dropped 51 on the Clippers. That's fantastic. I love that. That's a great anniversary to commemorate. I know some people were commemorating Kobe's 81 earlier this week. I'd rather commemorate Terrence Ross's 51 against the Clippers. That's fantastic. I've talked to Ross about it on his Twitch in the last year about that big game. And he said, "Oh, it's so much fun to score that." And he's like, he couldn't even believe he got that amount in that game, is what he said to me last summer when we were hanging out on Twitch talking about it. He said it just came so quickly and fast. And then all of a sudden he had 50 points at the end of the game. That must be nice to just be in the zone and just all of a sudden you got 50 points in an NBA game. Firebolt's here. Good morning, Carla. Good to see you on the chat this morning. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freak family. Let's go get another W tonight. Yes, of course, Carla is our maritime Raptor Freak who's hanging out in the Atlantic time zone for us, all the way on the very east part of Canada. So good morning to you, Carla. Always happy to see you in the chat. I'm going to give you a dunk for showing up and saying hi this morning to us on the channel live today. Yeah, I know you check me out later, and I see you in the chat also on Facebook. But yeah, here's a dunk for you. 3 dunks, 3 points for a Firebolt this morning. Fiercely saying good morning, fam, and happy Saturday. Good morning to you, MJ. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your Saturday morning so far and see what's going on. Rocco's giving me a correction on his last name. Risacher, Rizacker. I just pronounce it like a guy who got raised down in Tallahassee, Florida would pronounce it. Rizacker. His name is Zachary Rizacker. Risacher. That sounds highfalutin to me. You got one of them highfalutin names, Risacker, Risacher, what? Zachariah Risacher. What is that? I'm sorry. In some ways, I gotta be stupid. Fiercely saying, let's get that dub tonight. That's right. And what is that? Are those Eagles? That's close to a Hawk. Nah, is it weird? Like, I wonder about this sometimes. Like, watching the game the other night, the Hawks are the Hawks, right? So they're gonna make that hawk noise over the arena all the time. You know what I'm talking about? You hear the hawk noise interspersed throughout the whole broadcast in the arena. That noise. I wonder if that freaks people out. Like, I don't know. In some ways, the fans and the crowd and the players, do they like that noise? Because, like, in some ways, it's kind of a weird, annoying noise that just comes up every once in a while. I don't know. I wonder if people are out in public and they're walking around, and there are hawks around Atlanta. I've seen them in my brother's yard. And wonder if you hear one of them make their little noise. You're like, oh, the Hawks. It makes me think of the basketball team, Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, because I just heard a hawk dive bombing and making that little cry. Ah! What is it? How's that noise go? Ah! Ah! I don't know how to do it. That's pretty bad. But yeah, the Hawks. The Hawks. Ah! All right, let me keep going. Fiercely saying, are the refs decently paid? Wonder what their average salary is. Someone like Mark Lindsay must have a good pay due to his tenure. No, these guys are paid okay. I mean, let's not get it twisted. They're not probably making $1 million, but they're making a good 6-figure salary for sure. I would guess they're probably making around $600,000 a year, maybe $500,000 a year, something like that. They get paid all right. They do. They're not underpaid. That's for sure. I mean, you got to think about it this way, Fiercey. They're the pros, just like the pro players are. There's different levels to refereeing, just like there's different levels to basketball. And if you make it all the way up to the NBA as a referee, you're at the top of your field, and you should be paid like a pro because, you're better than the college refs. You're better than all the other refs. These refs, like I say in the ref report, they come from college. They come from G League. They come from the WNBA, and the NBA is the pinnacle. Unless it's like you want to consider a EuroLeague referee job the pinnacle, or FIBA competition or Olympic competition. But that's the thing. If you get to the best, the highest of your profession, You should be paid professionally that much, and that's why they do make some good money. They do. Pretty sure I don't know exactly their salary, and it's changed probably. They probably get paid more now than he did 10, 15 years ago. So their pay rate has probably gone up. So I'm gonna say they probably get paid between 500,000, 600,000. Some of the senior refs, maybe some of the younger refs are only making 300,000 a year. But yeah, it depends on how long you've been there too. That is definitely part of it too. Nako saying, I don't think we've handled back-to-backs too bad this year. Yeah, this isn't really a back-to-back to me. This is not really called a back-to-back because it's not 2 nights in a row. This is a home. It's a home. It's not even a home and home. A home and home would be us playing Atlanta and then getting on a plane and flying back to Toronto yesterday and playing them tonight here. But no, this is a home. It's not a home and home. So home is a little bit different. We'll have another one of these before the end of the season where there's 2 games in Orlando, and we're going to play a game and then have a day off and sit around and then play again. So these games are weird. In some ways, I worry about players getting in trouble because they have a day off, but our guys are good guys. They're professional. They're using the extra time for practice and healing and doing cool things like we'll find out in a second. And, it's okay. In some ways, it's good. They get a practice in. They get to work more on a day off when they don't have to travel, and they play the same team in the same city, even if it's not at OVO Center, working with the NOAA system at home. So, yeah, it's going to be something like that. Let's see. Yeah. All right, let's see. Nameless is saying on the whole, okay, there's a W missing there. I think the Raptors organization are handling things fantastically. On the whole. You're doing that on purpose, aren't you? I think they're doing a fantastic job too. I love where we're at with our team right now. Like Quinn Snyder said this before the game and after the game on Thursday. He said, the Raptors are not the same team that we faced just a couple weeks ago that we beat. They are way better team, and they're in a way better place right now. And I recognize that as an opposing coach doing the scout on them. That the Raptors are not the same team they were just a month ago when we played them and beat them already. He's recognizing this. He sees they're in a better shape. They're healthier, and they're gelling better, and they're playing better with each other. So that's where we're at right now. And Stank Nation, y'all need to get in with it and understand that's where we're at. We're playing better, we're healthier, and we're ready to win more games than we lose. And that's why we're 4 out of 5 the last 5 games winning. So, yeah, get used to it and get with the program. Y'all think that the program is to lose the rest of the season just to get a high draft pick? Y'all are crazy. No, we need to learn how to win as a young nucleus in a rebuilding franchise. That's what we need to do. That's right. That's right. Trevor's saying Spurs in Indiana at noon today. Game number 2 of the Paris series. Yeah, that's what's going on. Somebody made the joke last night that the 905 playing Long Island Nets and Laval is the G League equivalent of the Paris games for the NBA. And I was like, that kind of rings true. It's kind of funny. They're going on at the same time. And, well, yeah, Pascal and the Pacers will tip off against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs at noon today for the second of the Paris NBA games this season. So we'll have to see. Maybe Pascal and them can get some payback in this game and do a little better than like losing by 30 in the last game. That was really bad how they lost. It was like 20 or 30 they lost by in the first game. Fierce said I couldn't find a hawk emoji. Yeah, it's just got to be it's got to be the eagle emoji. You know what I would say? Just put the dinosaur emoji in. Get that hawk or whatever bird out of there. That's right. Fiercey saying when Shaq does his is so annoying. Yeah, I don't even know I guess that's some sort of meme right now they're doing with that. All right, on this note, let's go ahead and go look at the Instagram stories because there's something I was predicted and it did happen. I absolutely predicted this a couple of days ago, and I said this was going to happen on the off day in between the Atlanta games. Well, it happened. Let's start with Jamal Shed. He's celebrating these 2 brothers in California in high school. One of the brothers dropped 102 points on 48 of 60 shooting. 48 of 60. He shot 60 shots, and he was 48 of 60. 102 points for Nicholas Kachakian. And then his brother was the assist man who didn't score a single damn point, got 13 steals and 35 assists. Jamal Shedd's putting these guys on blast. He's saying, well, team dot. So it must be that he has some sort of connection to these brothers. Well, this one kid did 102 in a game. That's insane, man. And Jamal's talking about Wilt Chamberlain getting 100 points in the game and wondering about who could do it in the future. Like, who's going to get 100 points in game? Some people recently have said that if anybody's going to get a 100-point game again, it'll be Victor Wembanyama or Luka, maybe. Luka, yeah. Grady's got his on blast in the huddle with Darko teaching them. And there's his stat line from the last game against Atlanta. Lloyd is listening to Morgan Wallen. 7 Summers is the tune he's playing on his Instagram stories. Let's see what's going on with Raptors official. Just some highlight reel stuff. And they're announcing the Sprite Fan Zone is back, baby. You got to sign up on the Raptors app to get possible Fan Zone discount prices for tickets. So I love the return of the Sprite Fan Zone. The Sprite Zone was just an iconic thing in Raptors' 30-year anniversary history. And we just needed to bring it back. Hopefully you can bring it back permanently, Keith Pelly. Can you bring the Sprite Zone back permanently? Because I don't want to just see this year for 30th anniversary for nostalgia. Y'all need to put this program back in and just keep it forever going forward. Seriously, Sprite Zone is iconic, and we need it back. That's what I'm saying. There's a courtside experience center now to win your trip. The courtside tickets. It's a VIP dinner for 2. What? A Raptors premium merchandise? What? Courtside dreams with Points Bet. A betting company has some sort of deal there. Davion Mitchell has his team on blast, the starters, dapping around. I love that. Love seeing that. There he is against Trae Young. A great matchup. They're picked on the wall where they were practicing yesterday. It says, protect the culture. And it says, we're back at it again. Bump. That's right. So they're practicing like crazy. The Raptors on their day off yesterday. There's Davion with his shoes. Shout out to my boy for the kicks. Real one. Somebody sent some shoes to him, or he sent some shoes to somebody. AJ Lawson in the Bell Blue jerseys on his Instagrams. And Eugene Omoruyi, who did not play last night due to injury, sitting on the bench wearing the blue jersey also. There's Jacoby Walter with some highlights from a different G League game. So he's putting on blast a Baylor teammate, obviously, in a different game. The San Diego Clippers against the Santa Cruz Warriors. Not so sure who that player is. So, yeah, RJ Barrett has got his PS PlayStation commercial with Leah Edwards on blast on his Instagram story, where he's playing basketball and some guy in a suit gets offended and he plays him. Guy does a little finger spin, and then all of a sudden he's playing in his suit. Yeah, everything's cool. All right, here's what I want to talk about. I predicted before the Raptors went to Atlanta to have this stand in Atlanta 2 days, 2 games, and a day off in the middle, that one of the Raptors would be going to the TV studio to do broadcasting in either TNT studio or, well, the NBA TV studio. And that's what happened. Scotty Barnes showed up at NBA TV last night, met by Sam Mitchell and Udonis Haslem. He's calling Udonis and Sam OGs. Yeah, that's true. They are OGs. But yeah, Scotty appearing on NBA TV Game Time with those guys, with Udonis and Sam Mitchell and the little short guy. But yeah, Scotty looking fresh and coming on national TV in the States as a representative of the Toronto Raptors and talking on screen. Sam, you better have been respectful to young Scott and propping him up and looking out for him, Sam Mitchell. Don't be doing your USA, I'm on NBA TV shtick and dissing the Raptors, especially with young Scott there in your face. So yeah, Scotty was on NBA TV last night. My prediction came true. One of the Raptors did major NBA TV last night. I knew that would happen. It's official, guys. Bruno Fernando has signed with Real Madrid. He's going to go play for them now. He's holding the number 20 for their jersey up. So I'm proud and happy for Bruno. A new chapter for him. I know it didn't work out here in Toronto with you this year, but I'm happy to see that you land on your feet and you're going to a really good team in a EuroLeague to go play for Real Madrid. So congratulations, Bruno Fernando, the Angolan. Yeah, you go out there and do what you do, man, and kick some butt over there. Your basketball journey is your basketball journey, man. You've been in very interesting places so far. Well, now you're on Real Madrid. Yeah, Toronto Tempo President Teresa Resch is putting on blast a Toronto-based charity called Layup Basketball. Announces its first cost-free 3 versus 3 house leagues. That's awesome. More basketball for the youth to get involved in. I'm all about it. That's what I'm saying. And also, she's talking about the Scepters are returning to Scotiabank Arena to play a game, a battle on Bay Street against, I don't know which team they're playing. Let me see. It's the Sirens. They're playing the Sirens of New York Sirens. So that'll be a game coming up at the Scotiabank Arena. Slim Duck has got some crazy kids saying, I got this, shooting some crazy shots. But you've seen Wicked 3-5 times. I don't know what's going on there. He's always got some crazy clips. Norman Powell also doing national television for the NBA. This time he's on ESPN, though, with Shams and Danny Green. In fact, they show Norman coming into the studio saying that, like, I've never done this before. I've never been to ESPN. This is my first time actually here. I'm going to give one of these guys a hard time, especially Danny Green. I'm going to give Danny Green a hard time while I'm on this broadcast. So Norman doing the ESPN studio while Scotty's doing the NBA TV studio. So, yeah, cool to see former Raptor and current Raptors doing stuff with the TV stuff there. Yeah, Norman, you're awesome. Let's see. Montreal, Quebec is where the Raptors 905 were last night. There's a whole bunch of highlights from that on their Instagram. Yeah, and I think that's it. That's it for the Instagram stories right now. Too bad they lost. We'll go over that game in a second. Yeah, so Scotty was on NBA TV last night, and I predicted that would happen, that he would end up being – somebody would be on some sort of NBA programming while they're in Atlanta. That just makes sense. Kareem saying, Ed Trevor, is that true? The Raptors are the top-selling merchandise team in Canada. It's true. It's not in all of them. This always confuses people. This comes out every year. They do it for both NBA overall and NBA Canada. And those are the rankings for NBA Canada. So it's really jersey sales in just Canada is where the Raptors are number one and Scotty's number one. So, yeah, it's misnomer. And in some ways, we have to be responsible in making that distinction because you will get confusion like Kareem's right now. That's why it's important. Let's see. Trevor's saying Jokic 35, 22, and 17. Yeah, that's a crazy stat line. That's a stat line that hadn't been done since like Will Chamberlain way back in the day. That is crazy. 35 points with 22 rebounds and 17 assists. Nasty. And this is why y'all say he should be the MVP again. You're probably right. That's right. Let's see. Nako saying handling teams twice in a row. That's what you meant? Handling teams twice in a row? Kareem saying, bro, 6 straight triple doubles. His last stat line, 35, 22, and 17. He's a monster and should get MVP, but people are tired of him winning, so SGA will get it. You know, it's tough. Like, seriously. Like, I get it. He should be the hands and above MVP every year, but once again, it has to be looked at in all times cases with the other people in the league. Now, people that get like 4 or 5 MVPs are people that got like 4 or 5 championships. And Joker only has 1 championship. So in some ways, we got to keep this in mind is part of it. Michael Jordan could get 5 MVPs, but he has 6 championships. And this is part of it. So it's tough. You don't want to over important Jokic, even though he has great individual stats for his place in the NBA, you know, even if he is hands above the stat MVP for sure, doesn't mean he should win it every year. I really do believe that. I mean, I don't think Joel should have won it the year he did. I think that SGA needs to win it this year. Seriously, especially if he leads the Thunder to the finals this year. He does. He does deserve it. Yeah. Fiercely saying, thank you for the ref salary explanation. No problem. Anytime. I have no idea if I'm exactly right. I'm just guessing what they make. I'm just guessing. Common Crazy saying no swearing Saturday. I don't know. Have I swore yet? I don't think I have. Common Crazy saying, hey, why are there earlier games recently? Well, which games are you talking about? Most of the Raptors games have all been around 7 o'clock. There's maybe a 6 o'clock game on Sunday. But that's it. There haven't been very many early games for the Raptors. Now, for the Raptors 905, there have been earlier games. There's been 11 o'clock games, school day games, 2 o'clock games on Sundays. But no, the Raptors are not playing too early themselves. But Raptors 905 play at different times. That's for sure. Yeah, tomorrow they'll be playing at 3. Raptors 905 will tip off at 3. Yeah, tonight's game is 7:30 Eastern. Atlanta Hawks, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. No swearing. Tip off. Yeah, no swearing. Nago saying Joker, probably SGA, probably Giannis, Luka, and Cat. I just like that Embiid is not in the running and we don't have to hear or see his stupid ass in like the top 5 MVP rankings because he's hurt and he's not playing. Because in some ways that always bugged me that he was always in the MVP running and always seen up there. I like the names that are around there. I don't see Tatum in that list either. So I like that list. I mean, the only one on there that I kind of don't like is Cat. The rest of them are awesome players, and they definitely are 4 of the top players in the league. But yeah, I mean, I'm just liking that Tatum's getting excluded, and Joel's nowhere on the map. That's what I'm saying. That's right. Let's see. Fiercely saying, good for Scotty. Love that he was on national TV. I'll look for it. Yeah, I think it was last night. It was last night he was on for a second. And hopefully, like I said, Sam Mitchell wasn't out of pocket. And there's no Udonis Haslem trying to talk to him about heat culture. Fuck that shit, Scott. You grew up down there. You've said you have no natural affinity to the Miami Heat just because you grew up in West Palm Beach. He may be more a Magic fan than a Heat fan in some ways. At least I get those feelings and vibes from Scott. But let's not get it twisted. He's Toronto, baby. Toronto's his city. He loves his city up here, and he loves playing for us. And he's getting the success now that it makes him more and more enchanted with being a Raptor right now. So, yeah, fiercely saying best of luck to Bruno Fernando. Yeah, in Real Madrid. That's a good team for him to be on. I think so. Yeah, Nako saying I think LeBron got better help in his career than Joker has up to this point. I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. I will not. No, I won't. But that's not what we're talking about, Gerald. We can do what ifs and comparisons every which way. That's not what we're talking about here, though. LeBron is not in the discussion about whether Nikola deserves MVP after MVP after MVP. It doesn't really make sense. Fiercely saying, my daughter has a game at noon and later on my Raptors. What a beautiful day. Man, I love basketball. There you go. MJ's a real fan of the sport. And she gets to go watch Fiercely Jr. go play in a tournament today and during the day, and then watch her favorite team, the Toronto Raptors, try and beat the Atlanta Hawks for the second time in Atlanta in 3 days. And that'd be awesome. I'd love to see another victory for the Raptors tonight. That would be very good. Trevor wants a classic card already. No, let's do things in order. I'll do it in a second. And Fiercely saying, and Bozo and Jokic MVP years were definitely switched. SGA should have gotten it last year, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know if it's tough because SGA, in some ways, like I've said, you have to bump your head into being considered for it before you actually get it. And I think last year was the year that SGA kind of bumped into the conversation, but didn't really, he could have maybe gotten it. But it's the voters. They decide. I don't know. In some ways, it's like you have to be good enough to win it 2 years in a row. And on the second year, you'll get it. That's kind of how it works. All right, let's go and look at 905 game from yesterday. I'll do my stars of the game and react to it. Yeah, it's too bad. They played pretty good for most of the game, and it was close at halftime. But the Long Island Nets blew it open in the second half, in particular the third quarter, and took a lead. And the 905 just kept trying to climb back, but just weren't doing enough things correctly all the time to do it. And yeah, it is what it is. My 3 stars of the game for the Raptors 905 in this loss. Number 1 star is Frank Kaminsky. Frank Kaminsky was dominant in this game. He really used his size against the Long Island Nets, who didn't have anybody his size. And he had really crazy footwork and really crazy shots that he was making around the basket. He was really good, honestly. 9 of 11 for Frank last night. 3 of 4 from 3. He made all 3 of his free throws, 4 rebounds, 6 assists also. 1 block, 0 turnovers, 26 points for Frank Kaminsky in 26 minutes. So he got a point per minute. He got 6 assists. In fact, I started to realize last night why Frank Kaminsky's on our 905 team, because he's the 905 Kelly Olynyk. He is. Like, he's doing a lot of the stuff, like, with our system on the main squad with Jakob and Kelly being such passing hubs as the center. They needed a guy who could be similar to that on the 905, and Frank Kaminsky's doing that. In fact, that he may be really enjoying this because he may not be many times in his career his coaches encouraged him to be a passer and pass all over the place. But yeah, there were times last night where Kaminsky looked like Kelly Olynyk on some of the passes to cutters. And that was fantastic. So Frank Kaminsky is my number 1 star of the game for last night with 6 assists, 0 turnovers, plus 26 points himself on 9 of 11 shooting. He was fantastic. He was absolutely fantastic in carrying the Raptors 905 last night. My second star of the game is young Jonathan Mobo. Mobo was the second leading scorer for the Raptors 905 last night after Kaminsky. He shot 7 of 9 from the field. He had a lot of dunks, a lot of attacking the rim and throwing it down. Looked real good. 3 of 4 at the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers, 19 points in 36 minutes. Jonathan Mobo looking real good last night in a losing effort, even though energy personified, lots of getting up and down all around the court. Very, very good defensively, and just a real presence of putting the ball back in the hoop around the Raptors 905 basket. So good job, Jonathan. You're my second star of the game last night. My third star of the game is another one of our rookies, Jamison Battle. Jamison Battle finally got a lot of shot opportunities last night. Sometimes on the 905, Battle's an afterthought. And because of the selfishness of people like Kenny Chandler and Charlie Brown, he doesn't get the ball enough. This has happened way too much earlier in the season, especially in the Showcase Cup part of the year. But it's gotten better. And these guys looked for Jamison last night, and he actually got going, which was great. 5 of 8 from the field for Jamison. He only took one shot that wasn't a three, and he made it. 4 of 7 from the field. So 4 of 7 from three-point land, 2 of 2 at the free throw. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 0 turnovers, 18 points for Jamison Battle. I love seeing him get 4 threes last night. So he finally got to shoot more often and make threes. And that's what I'm saying. Stop freezing out the rookies that matter, 905ers like Kenny Chandler. Get that ball to Jamison Battle. We need him to shoot more and more and more and more. That's the guy we're invested in. In some ways, man, you annoy the hell out of me with calling your number every single time you get the ball. Zero is calling his own damn number and taking the ball to the hoop or shooting it himself. You never, ever pass it to anybody else, Kenny Chandler. What are you doing with your life, man? You're not a point guard. You're not a point guard. Honorable mention for the game. I'm going to give an honorable mention to Kennedy Chandler, even though 4 of 6, 2 of 3 from 3, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 5 turnovers, though. 10 points in 22 minutes. Yeah, that's not really honorable. He didn't score as much as he usually does, and he had just as many assists as turnovers. That's a problem right there. Jared Roden, 5 for 10 off the bench. He made his only 3, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 5 turnovers for him, too, with 11 points. There's a lot of turnovers last night, and that is a big reason why we lost, is right there. Evan Gilliard shot 50% from the field as a starter, 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. Made his only free throw, 3 rebounds, assists, 1 steal, 3 turnovers, 11 points for 23 minutes. Yeah, he was okay. He's had way better games than last night. You know, way too many turnovers, I'm telling you. AJ Lawson was not good as far as volume. 5 of 17, 2 of 10 from 3. Made his only free throw, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 14 points for AJ Lawson. We need better production from you, AJ. You've got to shoot better. You're going against your former team, and you, in some ways, you needed to kick their butt, but you didn't. And once again, people just added a lot to the turnovers. The one thing I will say about 905 last night is they were really good at the free throw line. They made all their free throws up until like a certain point where Jonathan missed one. They were 11 of 12 at the free throw line last night, which is fantastic. Jonathan missed one late. And, you know, in some ways it mattered, but it didn't. Shamshay off the bench. Prince was understated for scoring, 4 points on 2 of 4 shooting, but he had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 3 turnovers, and also 5 fouls. Yeah, Shamshay, not totally the sharpest game. In some ways, the having more turnovers than blocks, that's not what we want to see. Quincy Guerriere off the bench, 19 minutes, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, made his only free throw, 1 block, 1 turnover, 9 points for Quincy in the hometown hero spot of playing in Laval in front of the French-speaking crowd. A lot of people were confused in the chat about why the announcer was speaking French, and it was a Long Island Nets home game. They did not realize the game was being played in Quebec. And in some ways, some people are saying it's because they're renovating the Long Island Nets arena back in New York. So they're doing just a little homestand up here. Some people are saying the game in Laval last night is to continue to test that market for an NBA expansion team. That they are in Quebec for these 2 games, and the 4 more that are against other G League teams later this season. to really test this market and see how sustainable it is, to see how frenzied people will be to buy basketball tickets in that market. And well, it seemed like it was pretty successful last night. They had a sellout for the first game last night. Let's sell out tomorrow's afternoon game also. So we'll have to see. On the other side, let's give some kudos to players on the other side for the Long Island Nets. This guy Etienne was killing us. And he had the perfect name to be playing Quebec. 9 of 12 from the field, 5 of 7 from three. Made all 4 of his free throws, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 29 points in 38 minutes for Tyson Etienne. Killian Hayes did kill us a bit last night with the crazy double-double. 26 points for him with 18 assists. Killian Hayes had 18 assists against the Raptors last night. Isn't that crazy? I think that's so crazy to me. Another guy with a double-double was Drew Timme, who made a brief appearance on the Summer League roster on a piece of paper for a second. 25 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists for Drew Timme. And also, we'll give some shine to O'Shea Brissett, who came off the bench for them, former Raptor and Canadian, 3 of 10 from the field with 14 points and 7 rebounds off the bench. Kevin O'Banner did not get into this game to play against his former team, the Raptors 905. So he was not out there at all. But yeah, a tough game. In some ways, if I was Andrew Jones, I'd be pissed because we built so much up so far this season with doing great things. And last night, it all fell apart in Laval without doing things right. You know, we did shoot better than them. We got 56% from the field. That was fantastic shooting, but we still lost. You know, we made more threes than them, but we still lost. They had 3 more free throw points than us. They out-rebounded us +9. They had +3 on the assists. They had a +5 on stocks. The turnovers were a big, huge part of it. 21 turnovers for the Raptors 905, only 12 for the Long Island Nets. So turnovers absolutely killed the Raptors 905 last night, and that's why they lost by 9 points last night. It is what it is. Long Island also won the points in the paint by 8. So, yeah, that's the box score for the loss to Long Island Nets last night in Quebec. It was a cool crowd, very interesting game. But just not a good game for 905 as far as taking care of the ball. Not a good game. So let's hopefully they can clean it up and do a better job against them in the second game, 3 o'clock tomorrow. Same venue, same place. A little bit of Groundhog's Day this weekend. Yeah. So let's see what else y'all are saying in the chat while I was doing the thing there. Fiercely saying, not saying Joker didn't deserve it, but SGA truly had a huge impact on his team's success, especially considering how they struggled the previous years. Yeah, you know, like I said, MJ, these kind of awards are always kind of on a delay. Like, you know, you could be somebody who deserves to be an all-star one year, but you don't get it. But then you get it the next year because you deserved it again. And they said, oh, he deserved it last year, but he didn't get it. So we better give it to him this year. You know, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. They won't just give it to you if you just rise up and deserve it the first year. They want you to show that you deserve it like multiple years in a row, and then they'll maybe give it to you. Because it's like only one. It's so hard to get. And in some ways, there's guys in line to try and get it on different places, whether it's Giannis, Luka, you know, Nikola, Shea. You know, it's kind of how it goes. It's just you can't just get it the first time you rise up and get success like SGA did last year. In some ways, he had to do that, show that he's in the level with everybody else, but he has to stay and maintain that level for another year. And then maybe somebody's saying, yeah, well, he got an MVP last year, but Joker got it. Maybe he's MVP this year. And that's kind of how it works right there. Trevor's saying, my friend wants to do another challenge. Who loses the game is going to eat the world's hottest chips. I told him, no, I'm not doing this one because I know it will send people to the hospital. Is this going to be a little side thing like Trevor's jackass bets? Is that what's going to happen, Trevor? You're going to start doing these bets? Your friend sounds like a good influence on you. Trevor, let's get these chips. These chips will make your asshole on fire. Whoever loses has to eat this whole bag of chips. Trevor's like, no, I ain't going to the hospital. You can keep your chips and eat them your damn self. Trevor, I'm going to give you a dunk for entertainment. This is silly, man. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't do this one either. I would have if I was younger. Like, if I was 20-year-old Lex who had a crazy, like, mentality about eating whatever and it's crazy. Maybe I would have done it then. But as a middle-aged Lex, I'm not doing this to my digestive system. So I'm saying no, I will not do this. It's on the dunk charts for your 5th dunk of the year for this one. That's funny. Mischief's here. Good to see Mischief. Raptors 7 wins away from 10th and 9 wins away from 9th, but I'm all for one last push. 12 wins at this time of the season, in some ways that annoys the hell out of me. But you know what? 12 wins is better than 8 wins, which we had a couple, like a month ago. So, it's a slow climb. I was really hoping we'd get to 25 wins this year and bet a better our record than last year. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't think it will. And I'm okay with it. In some ways, it's not about, we regress this year in a rebuild and confusion and injuries. But we are building from that part where we regress to now. We can feel the progress in the build right now in the last couple of weeks. It may have been that we really did need to bottom out around Christmas and have some really, really, really disgusting losses that were embarrassing. And now we're on the climb of progress to get better and better, improve. And the easier schedule the second half of the season helps also. So I'm all about just naturally doing what our team's supposed to do. I don't want manipulation. I don't want things to be done on purpose. I'd like our team to go out there and compete and perform as they're supposed to. And if they win, they win. And that's what I want. That's all I want from me. I don't want to try and practice losing. I don't want to lose on purpose. I don't want to be a part of Stank Nation. I'm not in the Stank Nation. Tank Nation, Stank Nation. That's what we're saying now. That's right. Stank Nation. I ain't in that nation. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Fiercely saying yes to Trevor. Know your limits. No weird challenges. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Your stomach will be so much happier that you made that decision if you did. I'm just saying that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Fiercely saying yes, Mischief. Let's manifest it. Believe in it, team. We made the play-in at the end of this season. That would be kind of miraculous in some ways. That would be kind of miraculous. In some ways, it would be making some people really confused. But for me, I'd go with it. I'd be enjoying it too, just like Jay. I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Why not? Why the hell not? Let's get in 9th place or 10th place and just get a play-in game and see what happens. Fuck around and find out. That's what they say, right? That's right. Let's see. Fiercely saying CBL games in Montreal don't sell out. A Montreal Lions team. So good indicator for the G League. That's different though. That's different. It's different kind of like brand. CBL is not the NBA brand. And the NBA brand is like the top of top. And it could very well be that CBL is not even known to most people in general. Like, I don't think unless you're an NBA basketball fan like we are, normal everyday people around Canada may not even know the Canadian elite basketball league exists. That's the thing. So it's different than when you have like advertisements for saying, okay, this is G League or this is an NBA preseason game with the Raptors against Boston in Montreal. You're going to get those games to sell out. And they did get a very good house for the game last night. I don't know. The Alliance is on its rise and it will get more and more well known. But let's not forget the brand of the NBA is very attractive and has prestige to it. And CBL is not necessarily a brand that's recognizable by common people, just everyday people, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Cody's saying, Cody Willis. Good morning to you, Cody. Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. I'm here every morning talking Raptors at 9:30 in the morning, every single day. Today we're previewing the second Atlanta game tonight in Atlanta, and then also reviewing the game against Long Island Nets last night. If you watched that game last night, I'd love to hear your opinion on the game. Let's see what's going on with Cody. He's saying, great podcast. I've been watching along with you this season. Great talk, knowledgeable and informative and well-spoken. I appreciate that, Cody. That's a really, really nice compliment. I've been doing this stream for 3 years, over 3 years. It'll be 4 years in September. And I really enjoy it. I'm a very, very diehard Raptors fan, as you can tell. I just, when they found out they got the team in the 90s, I was a young man and I just became my team. And so I come by this very, very honestly with a real true passion and knowledge of the whole 30 years of the Raptors existence. And I just, in some ways, I want Raptors fans to be more proud of themselves in a world where the NBA media, the hockey media of Canada, and other people put us down and try and kind of gaslight us to not like ourselves. I wanted to be a voice in Raptors content makers that had respect for our team, our fans, our players, and our culture. Because we got to start somewhere. We're 30 years in now, and we do have a history. We do have a lot to be proud of. And other people may think the Raptors are a joke or a team that's just barely in the league, but we're not. We're a badass team that's very successful, and we need to fight for our honor and say what is true about our team. Because there's a lot of people that are kind of like half Raptors fans that kind of are fans of our team, but they're also very put down the team themselves too. I don't like that. So I'm trying to change the culture and the mindset of general Raptors fans to be more proud of their team and really like be positive fans. So I appreciate you, Cody. Thank you for the great compliment. And I promise to continue to show up every day and try and provide exactly what you described right there as my best ability. I really appreciate that, man. So we're saying, dude, don't eat those chips, man. In all seriousness, they could hurt you very bad. Yeah. I would say this too. I'm doubling down on this. You can tell who's the old heads in the chat. They're kind of like, nah, don't mess with that. And we know. Maybe we're kind of thinking about it ourselves. Like Reggie's imagining himself eating those chips. He's like, oh no, hell no. No, don't do this, Trevor. Please. Don't do it. Don't do it. Nako saying, I always overestimate myself when it comes to spice. Got Korean food last night, could only finish half of it because my mouth was on fire. Now, Joe, you're still a youngster, man. You're still a youngster. Joe, you're still in your 20s, right? You're going to be 30 soon, right? You're going to be 30. You got to be almost 30 or something like that. I don't know. What did you just turn, Gerald? I'm trying to remember how old Gerald is compared to me because he's younger than me. I know that for sure. Gerald, you listen. All right. I've known Gerald, Knock of the Nacho, for almost 10 years. And we were old comedy writing partners from Second City. That's where we met. We were there. And Gerald and I used to sit around and write comedy together at my house. And Gerald, you ate the craziest shit whenever we were hanging out. Like you were crazy. You were a typical young 20-year-old that ate whatever the fuck he wanted to. And some of it was not totally. I was like, damn, Gerald, what are you eating right now at my house? Half the time. So you can get away with it still. You're still young enough. You're still young enough. You get in your 40s, Gerald. You not need to start watching what you eat. You really do. I would tell any young person. In fact, I was telling my niece this at Christmas. Start eating correctly now. Get the good eating habits when you're young, and you'll avoid a lot of weird digestive problems when you're older. You can get food allergies later in your life that you didn't even realize you're building up to because of your poor eating habits when you were younger. So I say eat healthy now when you're young, and you'll have much better life expectancy, and you'll have better health outcomes and later in life also. You know, anybody can eat junk food when they're young because their body's young and resilient enough to eat it, but you don't have to. You don't have to. You can take care of your body and try and start taking care of it when you're younger. You'll get a head start later. Trust me. I pay for it every day right now because of my extremely poor eating habits in my early 20s. I'm very much paying for it in my late 40s right now. Let's just put it that way. So if anybody talks about, oh, do you have any regrets in your life? I regret eating only pizza and drinking beer for 5 years of my early 20s. And that's all I ate and drank. Maybe that's it right there. I don't know. Yeah, Gerald, you eating that Korean food? I'm sure you must be getting older. You can't eat the whole thing now. So he's saying, I've seen those chips challenges after just one bite. You have to drink like a full glass of milk. That's what they give you when you're eating that stuff because it's like it cuts down on the spice. And yeah, they're always drinking the milk. What is that? Spicy ones, hot ones, whatever, the wing eating like phenomena, that podcast where they have celebrities come on there and they try those hot wings. Yeah, they have that milk ready for them. That milk is good for them. It's like it's their lifeline or in that game show. The lifeline. I'll have a lifeline, please. So he's saying, it messes you up bad. Don't do it. Don't do it, man, Trevor. Don't do it. He's saying, I'm seeing people taking this world's hottest chip challenge on social media and nothing cools it down. I see the parameters come for people. I'm good on that. Yeah, you don't want to do it. Just don't do it, okay? Trevor, just don't do it, man. Please, please. I know you're smart enough not to do it. You're a smart guy. I know you won't. Fiercely saying, welcome to stream to Cody. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Being very welcoming, the Raptor Freak family, being welcoming. I love that. Smooth saying, Montreal only sells out for the NHL. Very tough sports market. You know, they sold out our games when we come there. When the Raptors play in Montreal, they sell those games out. They sell them out. We sold out a preseason game this year, didn't we? When we went there this preseason, we sold out another preseason game when we played the Boston Celtics and beat them in overtime a couple years ago. Yeah, I mean, our brand, this one right here, sells out in Montreal. That's the thing. In some ways, I was thinking about this. This was what occurred to me last night. Maybe they're trying it out with the Nets having home games in Montreal because they really want to see if it's true that they can kindle up a rivalry in basketball between the city of Toronto and Montreal, because they see the brilliant, amazing rivalry between the Habs and the Leafs. And in some ways, if they could cultivate any kind of NBA rivalry in Canada between Montreal and Toronto, they would do that. So this lay Nets homestand right now, playing against Raptors 905 last night. Raptors 905 is the visiting team. Well, in some ways, they wanted to see how it looks with Raptors being the visitor in a Canadian arena. And that's what they got last night. So think about that way. There's even talk in the chat last night that maybe the Nets are in trouble as a franchise and they may need to move. And who knows if the Brooklyn Nets are playing in Montreal all of a sudden and they have to play in. I don't know if the whole team would move, but maybe the G League team would move there and be like regularly in Canada. I don't know if that's very convenient for the Nets franchise, but who knows? I'm just saying they're trying things out for expansion. That's why we're playing these games in Laval, is we're trying out the market over there for possible NBA or G League action permanently there. So I'm very interested to see. Yeah, Kareem wants an alley-oop to Cody Willis. All right, we can do that. Look at that, man. He's getting such a welcome. He's getting a dunk coming in. Hey, Cody's actually on the list already. Cody's got 10 dunks from last year, guys. So he's in for his 3 points, first three for this year. There you go, Cody. You got an alley-oop from Kareem Thomas, the dunk champion. There you go. So we're saying in the States, the Expos would routinely draw 60,000 to the Olympic Stadium for baseball, but they were a powerhouse, though. Yeah, the Expos were extremely popular. In fact, I wonder about if they returned. How would they do in the MLB? Would they bring back the greatness of the old Montreal Expos franchise as far as attendance and excellence on the field? I'd love to see that. In some ways, I'm jaded on the Blue Jays because of their kind of perpetual spinning in one place kind of thing that's been happening with them for a while and not getting anywhere since World Series in the 90s twice. That I wonder if the Expos came back, would I become a little bit of an Expos fan if they were actually back and fully active again? Man, in some ways, I love that franchise. I love that name, and I love the whole thing about it. And it's sad because it doesn't exist anymore. In some ways, it makes it more valuable because you yearn for it. Montreal Expos. You yearn for it. You know what I'm saying? Nins is here. I'm 23, and I still wouldn't come close to eating that chip. Out loud. So Nins is a smart young person that is ready to just like, yeah, nah, I'm passing. I am not doing this. I value my life and my body better than to put myself through the hell of eating the world's hottest chip in the world. So yeah, this is smart decision making about what you put in your body. Well, it'll pay off in the long run. I'm telling you, what I was saying earlier, Nins, is true. If you can avoid the McDonald's, the fast food, the fried foods, then unhealthy stuff, and eat more vegetables and fruits and meat and natural foods that anybody would eat throughout the history of time, and not all this processed food, you'll pay off in your health outcomes as you get older. And this is something I actually have some expertise in from my graduate studies at Florida State in social sciences and mortality, about nutrition decisions in your life and the outcomes of how long you live. So yeah, what you are what you eat. It's the damn truth. So you want to be a hot chip? Go eat a hot chip. I'm a hot chip. I ate a hot chip, so I'm a hot chip. So weird, man. That's so funny. Naka's saying he's in his Grady year. So you're what? 1? You're 1 years old? How are you in your Grady year, Gerald? That's not right. You're not 1 years old. Grady is 1. You can't be in your Grady year. All right, I'm 49, so I don't even remember what 49 is. I'm in my Joe Montana year. That's what I kept saying. I'm in my Steve Young, my Joe Montana, my Jerry Rice year. I'm in my Jerry Rice year. 49ers, 49. Next year will be my Admiral year. I'll be in my Admiral year, 50. 50, yeah. No, you can't be in your Grady year. You be a goo goo gaga, a little baby. You be 1. So you can't be in Tracy McGrady Dick year. You can't be 1. Gerald, how are you typing on the keyboard if you're 1 years old? Come on now. You're not in your Grady year. Come on now. Nako's saying, I have a good diet these days. A lot of turkey chili, cottage cheese, canned tuna, and eggs on toast. That all sounds smelly. But it does sound pretty healthy. I will say that. It does sound pretty healthy. That's good. I remember Nako's on a cooking kick, too. He's been cooking feasts for his family at holidays and stuff like that. And Trevor's saying Long Island Nets arena was sold to the hockey team and they got kicked out. So they had to look for another home. That is why. See, somebody was saying something like that in the chat last night, and I didn't believe it, that the Long Island arena got sold and they can't be there. And that's why they're in Montreal right now. That's why they're up in Quebec playing their games right now. That's interesting. That makes sense. That makes sense. Fiercely saying Expos were my team. So sad the year of the strike. That was messed up. The strike year for the Expos was messed up because not only were they number one in the National League, we were number one in the American League. The Blue Jays were the top team in the other league. The two Canadian teams were on top, and baseball decided to strike. It was such bullshit. And, I look at that, and then I look at something like the Raptors having the best record in the league in the year of the pandemic. And I'm just, man, what is up with this stuff messing up Canadian teams being on top of the league in places where they were just being badasses? Like, we had been on a crazy win streak when Rudy Gobert grabbed microphones and COVID ended the NBA season. The Raptors were like top of the league. We were really looking like we were going to repeat and all kinds of stuff. Pandemic. What the hell? Strike. Expos. Man, I hate that shit too. I really do. Smooth saying for jerseys and hats. Oh, Lex, Expos are still a top 3 seller in the MLB. So are their hats for jerseys and hats. People love the powder blue of the Expos. They love the nostalgia. They love the memories. They love they had so many good players that came through that franchise too. You think about Andre Dawson, you think about Vladimir Guerrero, you think about Gary Carter. There were so many good Expos throughout the years. So many. Marquise Grissom. Ooh, so many good Expos throughout the years. So many. Ninja saying if Nako is in their Grady year, then I'm in my AJ Lawson year. Yeah, that must be right. Yeah, you're 00. You're just 0. You're like straight out of the baby came out of the world, out of the womb. That's right. That's crazy. Cream saying I'm a Blue Jays fan, but Expos were always on my radar. Oh, Mr. O. Henry was crazy thing. Mr. O. Henry. Mr. O. Henry. And Ninja saying, Lex, have you ever done post-game lives or interested in doing one? I've done like reactions after the game, like brief 5-minute reactions after the game. I did them for a little while as like members only content, but I didn't stick to them. I think part of it was also we were losing so much. I didn't get to do them so much. I was not going to do reactions to losing. I wanted to do reactions after winning games, and I did them for a while, but we weren't winning at all. So I got out of habit of doing them. It's kind of what happened. So I don't know. Everybody does post-game reactions like Samson and William Liu. And I think they do a great job. In some ways, I've always said that the reason why I wait till the morning to do reaction is I like to sleep on it. And I really do kind of like think about the game after I go to bed. And I wake up in the morning and I have more insight in talking about it in the next day sometimes. And that's part of it too. Also, I think that having this time carved out for me early in the morning like this is it's not as competitive for like Raptors people that are putting stuff out right now. And I kind of like having my own time to do things. And I know that some of y'all take in so much Raptors content that if you're going to watch the Raptors streak, you may be more likely to catch me in the morning than trying to watch me at 10 p.m. because you may be trying to watch Samson or William Liu with his reaction podcast or something like that. So it's partly that, the competition. And I kind of carved out my time being 9:30 a.m. So far. Yeah. So there's a couple different things in there. All right, let's do the classic card real quick. We'll make sure we get this done. Of course, important part of our show. Okay, yeah, this will be fun. Let's see how you guys do on like trying to guess this. All right, the classic card is classic. Let's see if you know who this is. Let's see. This is a Celtic, obviously. Look at this guy. He looks kind of like little Guido from ECW. Like the FBI, full-blooded Italians. Little Guido. Who is this classic card of the day? First person to write in the full name answer. Spelling is not totally important, but if you get the name pretty much right, you can get the points. This is not an easy one. So this could end up being like a 200-point classic card. So let's see if anybody's got any guesses. If you don't have any guesses, I'll start giving you guys clues as far as who he is. And see if anybody knows who this guy is. He does look like a 7-foot little Guido in some ways. Little Guido's a wrestler. He's a wrestler. Nunzio is his other name that he was in WWE. You know who I'm talking about. He kind of looks like that. Naka wants a clue. Ninja say, I'm lost. I almost said Cooper Flag. Yeah, this is way before Cooper Flag. All right, Gerald, you want a clue? Okay. Let me just make sure I've got the name right. Yeah, okay. All right. So one of the things I've been saying lately about Tank Nation is I've been calling them Stank Nation, right? So your clue is stank. It's stank. It is like this guy is stank. So you go ahead and figure it out from that. If you can figure out from that clue, you're really good. But yeah, I've been saying that Tank Nation is Stank Nation. So this guy is Stank. Is what I'll say. His first name is Stank. So that should give it away right there. If you know your old Boston Celtics former backup centers, you should know this. Yeah, his first name is just like Tank Nation. It's Stank. It's Stank. Yeah. And then the second name is tougher to make a clue for. I would say his second name is a little bit like our coach's last name. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. His second name has the parts of it that are the same as our head coach Darko's last name. So that's these are good clues. I can't give you any more. I'm basically handing you his name if you do know him. I mean, I'll show you the back of the card if you want, and you can see him in an action pose, a different one, and you can see, yes, he is a 7-foot guy. Yeah, but I don't know. This is tough. I can see that we're really struggling on today's classic card because he's a no-name backup center for the Celtics in the past. Not anytime recently either. I mean, I think his card says that he's played in this is his rookie card, by the way, too. Just so y'all know. Nako, that's an interesting spelling. Stankuchi Tarjavic. Stankuchi Tarjavic. That is not right. That is not right. Is not right. But yeah, stank. Stank is a word in his name. You need to use the word stank in his name. All right. Man, this is tough. I knew we were going to get a card at some point that was going to totally stump you guys because it's just ridiculous. Then I didn't realize it would be this guy in particular. I know this guy is myself. Like I would have probably guessed this guy if I was watching right now, guys, because I remember him and I remember him playing for the Celtics. But yeah, in some ways, it's like I don't know how to help you guys with this. Maybe I'll give myself the points if I stump you guys. Let's see. I'm going to give you guys another 30 seconds. And if nobody guesses this by the next 30 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and take the points back. And no points will be awarded today. And this will be a stump for you guys. There you go. Did somebody just say Stanley Tucci? Shaking my head. That's not actually that far off from his name. Seriously. It's not that far off from his name. So yeah, this is weird that you guys don't remember this guy. Maybe it's great. You guys aren't Celtics fans, so you don't know. A Celtics fan probably would know who this is what I'm saying. Okay, Stankario Sopakovic. That's funny. Stankario. What is somebody's name Stankario in real life, man? Stankario, come here, Stankario. That's so good, man. Stankario Sopakovic. All right, 30 seconds have gone by. It's Stanko Varankovic, guys. Stojo Varankovic. Stanko Varankovic, something like that. Yeah, Stojo, Stanko, something like that. Yeah, Stojo Varankovic is his name. Varankovic. Yeah, you guys didn't get it. Stojo Varankovic. Yeah, there's how you spell it, guys. Right there. Sorry. No points for today, guys. Stankaro Sopakovic is the closest we'll get. No points awarded today. None, 0. Nobody got it. That's too bad. I see you, David. Nobody got it. Nobody. That's kind of funny, actually. This could happen, sometimes. Nobody got it. That's right. Franco Stankovic. Stojo Frankovic. All right. Happy birthday to Tim Kempton. Tim Kempton, former Raptor. Happy birthday to you. You are 61 years old today. 61 years old today. Tim Kempton, former Charlotte Hornet. Played in a lot of teams, actually, in the NBA. Played on Denver, on the Raptors. Yeah, Tim Kempton. Happy birthday to you. That's what it is right there. Yeah, Trevor's saying, Lex, give yourself the points today. You want to give me the points? Why am I don't get points. I'm the trivia guy. I'm not the trivia player. In some ways, it's like, what? You looked it up now? But, yeah, Stogo Varankovic, you're way behind. You better hit that live button, Kareem, because you're behind on the screen. I already gave it up. Stoko Varankovic was the right one. You cheated. Yeah, I don't know this guy. Yeah, you cheated. It's already been over. I've already finished it. Kareem, you must not be live, honestly. Center, Boston Celtics. Elvis Stoiko. I should have said that. Elvis Stoiko. Yeah. All right, let's do the recap and let's get the hell out of here. All right. Injuries for tonight for the Raptors. Right now, out for the game. Ochai Agbaji, still out due to his hand. Emmanuel Quickley is still out due to his hip. And Kelly Olynyk added to the list of do not play tonight with his calf injury from the last game. So no Olynyk. I'm speculating that possibly we will see Orlando Robinson play a bit in this game in the minutes for Kelly Olynyk instead. Because Jonathan Mobo is still in Quebec. He is not there in Atlanta. So if we're thinking about who's going to back up Jakob Poeltl, we may be seeing Robinson out there, honestly. I'd like to see Robinson get some extended time on the court tonight for the Raptors against the Hawks. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. Davion Mitchell's likely to start in the place of Emmanuel Quickley. On the other side of things, there are injuries on the Hawks side that have changed since the last time. Kobe Buffkin is out. Cody Zeller is out. Zachariah Risache. He's out still. The number 1 pick in the draft. Jalen Johnson is out today, guys. He played in the last game, got hurt, and left the game. He's still out. Trae Young is questionable today. He has a hamstring injury, and it looks like he may not play today. That would be very interesting to see if the Hawks don't have Trae Young available tonight. That will make things easier for us to beat them. So we'll have to see if that happens. Larry Nance is probable to play today. He is probably coming back, and so is Clint Capella is probably going to be available for the game tonight. So that's the Hawks injuries on the other side. The referees are pretty good. Mark Lindsay is the crew chief. He favors the Raptors. Nate Green is the second ref. He favors the Raptors. And Brandon Adair is the third ref. He favors the Hawks. So, yeah, that's that. The Raptors 905 lost to the Long Island Nets in Quebec last night. Unfortunately, my 3 stars of the game, Frank Kaminsky, Jonathan Mobo, and Jamison Battle. We did the Instagram stories. Happy birthday to Tim Kempton, former Raptor. Yeah, let's get out of here, y'all. Thanks for watching me. I appreciate the nice compliment, Cody. That was very nice of you, man. Mischief saying 6'11" is the perfect height for a center. 6'9" is too short for a center. And 7-footers are more injury prone and slow. Lex, scout out 19-year-old, 6'11" Serbian monster, Bogojo Markovic, 40.5% from three-pointer. Well, unfortunately, Mischief, it is odd day. So I'm still not doing scouts on odd days. It seems like you show up on the odd days. I do the scouts every other day, and I did one yesterday. And I keep missing you on the scout days. I do have extra time. So you know what? I'm going to do a special one for you, but realize the rule is right now, I'm not doing them on days that are odd. I'm only doing scouts on even days because I don't want to run out of scouts by June. There's a lot of time before then, and I want to do scouts pretty regularly all the way through. And if I did a scout every single day leading up to June, I'd run out in like 3 months. It's like two months. So I need some time, and every other day is what I've designated. But I'll do this one for you because this is the second time you've asked me on an off day. when I shouldn't be doing them. But I'll do this one for you today just because this is the second time. But please remember, I'm not doing scouts on even days. I mean, on odd days. I'm only doing them on even days. So I'll go ahead and do this one. I'll do this one for you, just for you. Okay. Bogo Jub Markovic. All right, let me go look at him. This is a scout of the day. Bobo Jub Markovic. Okay, I don't know if you spelled that correctly. Bogo Jub Markovic. Okay, let's see. This guy's from Serbia. That's a good sign with our coach. He plays in the ABA League, Basketball League of Serbia. He's a power forward. He's 6'11". He weighs 190 pounds. He's 19 years old, and he's actually from Serbia, Montenegro. Okay. He's a EuroLeague NGT champion. He's a Junior League champion and MVP also. Okay. Bogo Lujub. It's an interesting name, Markovic. All right, let's go look at him on the tube. Bogo Jub Markovic highlights. All right, let's see what's up with that. Get me a pretty good one. All right, here's his highlights from FIBA under 18. This is from a year ago. I think I remember him from the Serbian team. All right, let's see what's up here. Is that the pass? Which player is he? I can't tell which player he is. Okay, he's the guy who dunked. He's number 6. Okay. All right, they're coming down the court. It's tough to figure out who he is with all the other Serbian players. So did he just make that basket? Okay, so he took the contact and finished through contact on that one. Now, the competition in this game doesn't look that top-notch. They look very short, but they're finished through physicality. That's pretty good. Let's see. Is that a steal? Not by him. He's over on the corner. Okay, he takes it. He's calling for it, and he attacks the rim and throws it down, splitting the defenders. Okay. He looks a little undersized on his upper body. Like he looks weak. I like the length. I don't know why everybody in these clips looks like they're 6'4". Like everybody else on the court looks really, really short. Okay, that's an interesting pass. He got to the guy on the outside. I haven't seen him shoot a 3 yet. Well, that's a block by him. Okay, nice defensive stand there. Okay, so he's got a two-way ability. As far as he's going to score near the basket, and he's going to do pretty good, like a defensive, like a shot blocking. He does look skinny in his upper body, though. Okay, look at that steal, and he even looked back a little bit like Scott did. Just now did the Scotty look back on a steal, a breakaway dunk. Is that a 3 by him? Okay, there's a 3 in the corner. I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. All right, with a player like this that's from Serbia, Darko's probably got to be pretty familiar with him. He's probably got a pretty good pulse on the Serbian players coming up. So with Masai and Bobby, if he's worth drafting, he's going to talk to them and tell them that he wants them. Right now, the things I'm seeing from him are nothing really special. Like, there's been other guys like at this position that I'd much prefer in the draft than Bogo. This guy, I'd like Queen better than him. I like Queen better than him. Queen at the power forward is the best power forward I've seen so far. So I don't know. Where's this guy projected, Mischief? Because in some ways, I don't like his upper body strength. And I don't think he's all that in a bag of chips. I'm not seeing, like, his highlights are not wowing me. Let's just put it that way. There's not anything that I'm seeing talent-wise or skill-wise that's extra special. He just seems like a guy who plays basketball. Is what I'm saying right here. I don't know. Darko knows something special about his character and where he comes from with what he's doing in Serbia, and he likes him, and he tells Masai, you need to get this Bogo guy, then yeah. But to me, it doesn't seem like there's anything special about him. I like that Queen kid. If we're looking at that position, Queen is the guy I like. That's who I'm like. At 42, yeah, this guy's definitely later in the draft. So he's right around 42 in the draft. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks for the scout of the day, Bogo Markovic. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with him. Trevor's saying this one's going to go down history. Nobody's got the trivia points. Yeah, this has never happened. I don't remember this happening where the classic card was not gotten, and it took a Stanko Varankovic to do it. Stoko Varankovic to do it. That's crazy. You guys see Lil Guido? That's what he looks like to me. Lil Guido, FBI, full-blooded Italians. That's right. All right, I did the rundown. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and join the channel if you can. I appreciate everybody. We'll be back tomorrow to react to the second game against the Hawks, hopefully a victory. The Raptors need to build off of what they did in the last game. Of course, Quiz Schneider is going to have adjustments and try and do things a little bit differently to probably try and mess up some of the things we did so well in the last game. And, well, hopefully we have adjustments also for things. And some of the personnel will be different for the game tonight than the last game. And that will be part of the adjustments also. So hopefully the Raptors can show good concentration of effort and mentality to win against the same team 2 games in a row like this. It's very, very difficult to do. But if the Raptors do it tonight, that's going to show a real sign that they're very much taking things very seriously right now and trying to do their best to win games as much as possible. So that's what I'm hoping. Also, we'll preview the Long Island Nets against the Raptors 905 in Laval for the game 2 at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. All right, let's go. And Cool Cat saying, good morning, Rapid Free crew is done. Yeah, I just finished. Good morning, Alex and crew from Cast 2. Y'all just showed up, and I'm signing off. So take it easy, y'all. Have a good one. It was nice to see Isaac Campbell bring up old Justin Bieber in the chat last night on the 905 game. And people were saying, I haven't seen Justin Bieber in a while. Well, here he is. He's here. He's been sleeping a lot because it is that time of year where he kind of hibernates. So he's not necessarily on the show all the time. But, yeah, he's always around. He's just kind of like doing Bieber stuff in the winter kind of stuff. And he's kind of hiding and stuff like that. So hi, Justin. Say hi to them. Yeah, say hi to them, Justin. There you go. All right, let's go. Let's go, Raptors. Let's win tonight. Justin, we're going to win tonight? We're going to win tonight, right? You're my son. I love you. All right, yeah. We're going to beat the Hawks tonight. Let's go, Raptors. Woo! Let's go, Raptors.